How do the different social media platforms fulfill different marketing purposes?
Well, I think there's something specific in each channel. Obviously, YouTube, that's moving image. Instagram is the instant feel and a little bit of different look to it. Each platform gives us something specific that we can use to portray our brand in the correct sense. We look very much on Facebook as a media now. I think a lot of brands do that. It's also a lot easier to geo-target specific target groups with Facebook. We can't really do that with a lot of other platforms. They are not that developed yet. And that makes it difficult to integrate them in our specific marketing initiatives, just as one-off. It needs to be relevant around the globe. It needs to be integrated into that content scheme on that platform.
So what social media do you use for what purpose?
Well, we have a big community on Facebook. That's one of our biggest. And obviously here it's very much storytelling, having our consumers share their stories, uploading images, and us coming out with a small bit of enticement for different subjects, having them talk about the brand feelings in their own way. But on Instagram, we're around the world, local events, what's happening, small snaps, which is kind of the feel of the platform as well. And then Pinterest we use for general inspiration, creating the relevancy of how Pandora can interact with other things about life.
So there's a lot about creating buzz, creating inspiration, engaging people, perhaps even emotionally, your fans, etc. How about lead generation? Do you ever generate leads through the use of social media?
Well, as we can't really connect social media straight down to the store yet, we don't have e-commerce on all our markets either. It's hard to say exactly where is that traffic going and when does it perform on sales. Obviously, we look at how it leads into different other digital platforms. We're looking at very much integrating a lot of our social media content and engagement on our digital platforms on our general brand site. Having that lead traffic in, of course, generates some leads to sales at some point, but we can't really say exactly where that is.
And what social media would you use for pulling people into your website, for instance?
Well, again, very dependent. A lot of the pack shots from Pinterest leads directly into a product catalog, for instance. YouTube is more, looking at YouTube today, consumers are staying there. Young consumers are using it as TV today. So they're there. They're not looking to go somewhere else.
And what limits, what obstacles for using social media do you see?
Well, for one, you can't really control it. That's definitely number one as a brand. You would love to control everything. And you need to be ready to say, I'm letting go. This is in the consumer's hands as well, just as much as it is your own. That's one. And then you, obviously, as a brand, we have certain standards that we want to live up to. So the moderation part of it is one of the obstacles. Being sure that we see every post, answer all questions, both the good and the bad.
And what kind of social media is it that you have chosen not to enter?
Well, we've been a little bit of a slow mover on getting on social media in general. The Facebook page was pretty much started by our consumers. They were so active anyway. But a lot of the other platforms we've chosen very carefully to go enter to.
And which platforms have you said, we'll leave this for a year or two, maybe forever?
Well, we have our looks on a lot of the platforms just to see how they develop. We have Vine, Tumblr, even Snapchat, which is very young today. But we're looking at how is that evolving. And when we can see a reason to be there, then we'll be looking at engaging with that too. But not just to be there for the sake of being there.